Hello, friends. Welcome to the Coffee Run Live. I am coming to you from in front of the beach. Look at my beachscape. I love it. So what I wanted to talk with you a little bit about today is the importance of you creating your very own rockstar positioning. Now, if you want to still be in business in the next 12 months, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, if you've got a long-term plan for yourself, then you need to be super committed to you actually getting yourself out there and really establishing a point of difference. Now, when you're coming on, can you please just let me know that you can hear me? Okay, thanks, Georgina. Can you hear me okay? So, I've got these, I've got the AirPods in again, and I'm just a bit worried that they're not doing their thing. It's really annoying when they're not doing their thing. And I have not been able to get my screen to go on its side. I don't know what the hell is going on with all of that, but there you go. That is the trials and tribulations of me today. All right, I'm just going to see if okay, good, because otherwise that would have been weird. That is the yes, okay, so that's all working. That's good, thank goodness. Okay, cool. So I've just come out of a meeting with a gentleman who has got a lot of credibility in his industry. And I know that I've spoken with a lot of you guys, and you've got your runs on the board, right? You've been in this for a while, you've been helping people, you've been doing your thing. And I reckon that probably if you're like a lot of people that I've been talking to, you're kind of really in that position where now it's time to kind of like ratchet things up, right? And up the ante a little bit. And to me, the only way that you're going to be able to do that is to really establish yourself as being different. Now, one of the things, it's really funny, how things kind of play in and we get the big loud lessons, when we're supposed to. So I really tried really freaking hard to write chapter 2 of Into the Spotlight yesterday. And it just wasn't working for me. And a whole part of what Into the Spotlight is about, exactly this, right? It's about you stepping into the version of you that you perhaps imagine yourself to be, or that you would really like to be, or doing some of the things that you'd really love to be able to do. But for whatever reason, maybe you've been a bit scared, right? Imposter syndrome kicks in. That whole thing around, am I good enough? Am I worthy? Is anybody going to listen? Am I going to get laughed at? Will people even freaking get it? Do they understand what it is that I'm talking about? All of that kind of stuff. And I think that one of the big things that we've really got to remember is that everyone has these doubts, these things rolling around in our heads that can stop us and hold us back from getting to where it is that we want and need to be. So Eye of the Tiger is also going through all of this. So just to let you know, we do start that next Tuesday. The link is www.nicolamoras.com.au/tiger. But the big thing is that we all have these doubts, right? You are not alone. Regardless if you've been in your industry for 20 years, you might have qualifications up the wazoo. You might be reasonably new into business. It doesn't really matter. The fact of the matter is that we all have these different doubts, concerns, worries, little critters that roll around in the back of our heads. It's just kind of like, it's almost like the rite of passage of entrepreneurship and business ownership. The thing that we've really got to be doing, hey Myrna, if you want to be still here, hey Judith, if you still want to be here doing this thing that you're doing in the next 3 to 5 years, then you've got to do something different. And the reason that this is so important is everyone is competing, like in quotes, everyone is competing on price, everybody is competing on, well, my product does this, like my product does that, my thing does this, my thing does that. And you can get into more of a pricing war, right? And I'm just like, fuck that. For a start, I used to be really kind of almost like cagey about the fees that people would pay to work with me and things like that. And these days I'm just like, oh, you know what, this is how much it is. If you want in, that's great, and if not, that's cool too. I'm not doing that fighting thing, but I also refuse to compete on price. If somebody came in and said, oh, well, hey, Catherine, if someone came in and said, oh, hey, I can work with a mentor who is similar to you doing similar things and this is how much they charge, like, will you price match? No, hell no. If you're going to compete on price, if you want to go and shop on price versus how I can help you, then, that's totally fine. Go work with that other person and, I'll still be here doing my thing. So what we need to do, the positioning for you in the marketplace, means that you can start to really become really firm, really grounded and certain in who you are, what you do, and the way that you help and serve people, right? And we know that you can do this because you've got your runs on the board. But the way that we do that, part of the way that we do that is around positioning. And when you're working on your positioning, it means that you're really establishing your point of difference. It means that you've been able to unpack the things that make you different, which, hint, it's all between these two things here, right? All of the things that make you different are in your head. And we've got to have a way of being able to pull that out and articulate it in the market, add your personality and your flair and your wit and your humor and your seriousness and all of these different elements of you. We want to be able to use that as the positioning, right? So for instance, if you happened to be an accountant, right? And let's say that you're an accountant, you've been an accountant for a really, really long time, and you want to start to really establish yourself as someone who knows their stuff. You want to get more clients, but you don't just want to talk about, hey, we can do your tax for you. Maybe you're a bit more interested in business strategy and forecasting and growth and exit strategies and wealth planning and whatever else it is that you might decide to do. In this example, you could, like, the typical marketing is like, well, we can do your tax return for $147, or we do your tax return for $2,500, or whatever the price point is. Now, you can go to the next accountant and the next accountant and the next accountant, but why is someone going to choose you over them? If everybody is pretty much charging the same kind of fee, if everybody is pretty much offering the same kind of service, how do people make decisions? Let me tell you, it's a bit of a rhetorical question. People make decisions based on your personality, on who you are, what you stand for, and then making a judgment call on, does this person share similar values to me? Okay. So one of the people that I've been, one of the humans I've had the pleasure of speaking to over this last week, they said, like, I actually shared, look, one of the reasons that I would choose to work with you is based on who you are. And like, I wouldn't even really entertain the idea. There's like other people that I could choose to work with, but it's not a values match. It's not a personality match, right? So it's like they're offering the same thing. It's like you can buy an apple from that person, you can buy an apple from that person, you can buy an apple from that person. Who are you going to choose, who you give your money to? It's based on the personality of the person that you most resonate with, that you gel with, that you share some common values with. For me, my top value is integrity. So I can tell you that when I'm choosing who to do business with, if I don't feel like I can see that they've been operating from a place of integrity, or if they're not communicating with me from a place of integrity, it's not even an option to work with them, regardless of how much they charge, regardless of what it is that they do. It's a hard no. Not for me, thanks, and no. So when you establish your positioning in the market, what this gives your audience the ability to do is to make a values-based decision about you, right? They get to make a decision on whether they vibe with your personality, if they gel with it, if they like the way that you're kind of pushing the boundaries or playing the game, or the way that you very calmly lead people through whatever it is that they're leading them through, or whether you're like, this is what we're doing, guys. Come on, let's go. My natural personality is, and it was really funny because I noticed this morning, is like when I'm excited about stuff, like I'll use my hands. I was looking at some still shots of some previous live streams that I've done for you guys, and like all of the screenshots of me like with my arms out like this. It's like, wow, I really do speak with my hands a lot, don't I? Yes, Nicola, yes you do. We know this, and I don't even have any Italian in me. So it's just really kind of curious, for me, like I use my whole body to kind of like bring you guys into the journey, right? So it's just part of my personality. It's part of what it is that I do. It's just something that's innate. I've always done it. Yet for other people, it's like you might choose to work with someone based on their calm nature that helps you feel really safe, really secure, really valued, really nurtured, right? So if that's the kind of thing, that's the kind of person that you are, then that's the way that you want to show up, right? So we can work on your positioning to reflect that, right? We can work on the way that you show up to really reflect that. And that's the thing that is going to help you create the point of difference in the market, rather than going out there saying, I sell printers, I sell coaching, I sell transformation. Every man and his dog sells fucking coaching. Every man and his dog sells transformation. Every man and his dog is a business coach, right? So what makes somebody different? It's you. It's your thinking. It's the way that you articulate your stuff. It's the stories, the experience that you've had, and the way that you can help people. For instance, for me, what I do is the way that I articulate my specific process is like I take people who feel like they're kind of stuck singing in the shower, talking to no one online, helping them to get up and out there, and then moving into a real kind of like rock star status so that they can get up on out there and really create massive influence and change the world, or their world, with what it is that they do, with style and flair and, a bit of sass and fun, right? Hey, Chrissy. So, for me, that's the way that I really help people. And the thing that I know is that there is nobody else out there doing things in the way that I'm doing things, because like I'm and if they are trying to do things in the way that I'm doing things, then they're not really remaining true to them. They're trying to be like me, which is not going to freaking work. You might get some short-term success, but it's not going to work. It's not sustainable. So you really need to work out, what's your proprietary process? How do you work through and help people, and how can you articulate that so that they feel really empowered, so that they can learn to get to know you, like you, trust you through everything that you're doing, through your content marketing. The big thing that I want to just make sure that you guys are aware of is that there is a time and a place for kind of like the binary ones and zeros, right? So what I mean by that is there's a time and a place where you will take people through the pragmatic steps. This is how you do this, and then you move on to step 2, and then you move on to step 3, and then you move on to step 4. There's a time and a place for that. But the other piece that we want to remember is that people are going to vibe with your personality, right? So how can you kind of like create a little bit of drama? How can you create a little bit of fun as you start to weave people through and articulate your process of how you really help people? That's going to be the thing that helps you to stand out. That's going to be the thing that has you and your personality being the pattern interrupt in somebody else's newsfeed as they're mindlessly scrolling through Facebook, procrastinating on writing chapter 2. Oh, hang on, that was just me yesterday. Right? Like, what's the pattern interrupt? How can you stand out, and how can you be different? And really, the truth of the matter is that it's by really owning you, owning your voice, you stepping into your spotlight and really fucking owning it. And, the hell with what everybody else thinks. because there are going to be people who will love you for it. There will be people who think you're crazy. There will be people who think that you're like God's gift. And there will be people who think that you're just too much, too little, too not enough, too much hand moving, not enough hand moving, too calm, too quiet, too nurturing, too much of a badass. It's just what happens, right? So you cannot possibly please everybody. So just own you, do you, be you, pull the stuff out of your head and really articulate that from a positioning perspective through that lens, so that you can share the journey that you take people through. And that's going to be the thing that keeps you in business for the next 3 to 5 years and then beyond. Because everybody else is doing the same old thing, which is selling business coaching, selling life coaching, doing all of that stuff rather than using their personality. So you've got a really great window here before everybody else plays catch up, so that you can actually get in there and leverage all of that. Leverage you, baby. It's where it's at. All right, my friends, as I mentioned earlier on today, you can learn how to do all of this in Eye of the Tiger. We do start next week. I am terribly excited about it. I am going to go and sit at my kitchen table. Let me show you. I'm going to take you for a walk through my house. Hang on. Let's just do this. So I'm just going to come through here. So I'm going to show you where I'm working from today. Oops. All right. So yesterday, I didn't have this stuff on my wall, right? I had all of my stuff all out everywhere over here for the book writing shenanigans. And I had the best laid plans to write, and I could not write. It was really, really very annoying. So today, I've got all of my stuff all ready, and I'm gonna rock it today because I had a little bit of time to think. I'm feeling particularly inspired, and I'm all set and good to go. So that is me, my friends. Have a really fantastic, awesome, and amazing day. If you need to jump into Eye of the Tiger, which you all need to be in there, just saying, it is nicolamoras.com.au/tiger. Although you don't have to spell that. It's just tiger. There you go. Get out there, go help some people, have a whole shit ton of fun doing it. And remember, the world is ready for your brand of awesomeness. And I can't freaking wait to see what you create. All right, guys, have a really great Tuesday. I will talk to you tomorrow, if not before.